Before I begin, I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to go into detail about the last segment with Roman Reigns and The Undertaker, okay? I'm going to have a designated video about that. So if you're interested in how I feel about the segment and about the whole Reigns versus Undertaker, go watch it. But again, I am not going to go into that segment in detail. But without further ado, this is the Theme's Raw Review Report. So the show opens with Chris Jericho, and he comes walking out. Basically, he gets in the ring, and he says that he screwed over Owens, and congratulates Goldberg for winning the championship, the Universal Championship, at freaking Fastlane. But he still wants to know why Kevin Owens did what he did at the Festival of Friendship, and he just calls him out. So when he does call him out, it's funny how Kevin Owens tried to, try to go around the question. But of course, Jericho, quiet, 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 quiet. And he wants to know why. So Kevin Owens just basically runs down that Jericho was never his best friend because he was just a tool. Yeah, Jericho was just a tool, and he just used Jericho. He needed someone with experience, someone that's been there, someone that was gullible. And he even pointed out, Sami Zayn was my best friend at one time, and look what I did to him, and I would do it again. He said, what really bothered me about what he said was, he said that when he won the Universal Championship, Triple H told him that he's going to need someone to watch his back. And I'm like, wait a minute. They formed that friendship before he won the Universal Championship, as memory serves. So that really didn't make any sense to me. But anyway, you know where this is going. You know that this is going to go to Jericho versus Owens at WrestleMania for the United States Championship. Duh. Well, lo and behold, that challenge was made. Challenge accepted. United States Championship will be on the line. That could be match tonight because it is Jericho. It is Owens. Could be match tonight at WrestleMania. So, but fuck all that. Jericho just calls him out right now. They're in Chicago. You want to see it. And Owens actually goes to the ring. And they actually start brawling. And it's like, okay. Yeah. Go at it. Samoa Joe shows up out of nowhere. Yeah. So you see where this is going. Sami Zayn comes out with a chair and just starts whacking away at Kevin Owens. Starts whacking away at Samoa Joe. Okay, yeah, so he saves Jericho. Jericho even pointed out, hey, he knew about Sami Zayn, about him being the former best friend of Kevin Owens, but he still wanted to know why, and so on and so forth. So this leads to a match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Not their best match, but certainly not their worst. This is basically just to show off Kevin Owens and his mean streak and that he's a quality threat here because Kevin Owens did end up winning. Yes, it took a couple of pop-up powerbombs in order to do it, and he showed a little viciousness. Because the thing about it is, during that whole segment with Jericho and Owens, yeah, Owens said that he spared Jericho because of his family and stuff like that, but he said that was it was the biggest mistake that he made, and he'll never make that mistake again. But Jericho was like, no, I mean, come on. Because Kevin Owens was like, yeah, the biggest mistake you ever made was cost me the Universal Championship. Yeah, I mean, so all in all, it was a good segment to start off with Kevin Owens and with Chris Jericho, leading up to a match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Pretty standard match, but still, it wasn't their top notch, and I didn't think it needed to be because it's not a pay-per-view. It's not for a championship, so that no behold, oh well. You had Neville against Rich Swann for the Cruiserweight Championship. Good match. It was a pretty good match. Good showcasing of moves. Neville ends up winning. So in 2 nights, he defeats Jack Gallagher and Rich Swann, the former Cruiserweight champion. Taking on all comers, huh, Neville? You know, establishing yourself as a heel and taking on all comers. Yeah, until after the match interview with Austin Aries. So this is Chicago, so there's an Austin Aries chant. Neville was like, "Look at me now. You know, you thought I was irrelevant. You thought I was nothing. Yeah, look at me now. I'm the Cruiserweight champion." So A-double, which they're calling Austin Aries. Yeah, not double A, A-double. You know this is a setup for Austin Aries versus Neville for that belt at WrestleMania that once again could be match of the night. So, during the interview, yeah, Neville just gets in the face of Austin Aries, and Austin actually got tired of it. He's like, "I just got one more thing to say." Well, it's not really me saying anything, it's more like a statement, and just forearms him and starts hitting on him and, you know, attacks Neville. So, Austin Aries basically, I mean, the thing about it is, Austin Aries was like, "Look, I'm just trying to do my job, just trying to do my job, just trying to do my job." But, yeah, Austin Aries versus Neville, WrestleMania, Cruiserweight Championship. Book that shit and have that be a high-octane match, because it's capable to be one. Please, just do that, alright? Enzo and Cass bump into Cesaro and Sheamus in the back. Okay, look. The thing about it is, when you see this type of shit, and Enzo saying that, "Yeah, why don't you just, you know, watch us win the fucking tag team championships," and Cesaro and Sheamus, "Yeah, we might take a closer look." I called a triple threat tag team match at WrestleMania, and I'm still calling it. Look, I don't think it's going to be a 2-on-2 tag team match. I think it's just going to be a triple threat. So, yeah, come see us. Yeah, they're going to go watch the match later from ringside. So, you get Goldberg. Goldberg, you know, with his 30-minute fucking intro and him walking from the back and the fireworks and, you know, stumbling on the microphone and shit like that, and saying that he couldn't have won the Universal Championship without the people, without us. He said without you, and it's like, okay, we really, really, really didn't want you to get to that point. We just didn't. I mean, yeah, it's a good novelty thing as far as Goldberg winning the Universal Championship, but I didn't really want it, but I predicted it anyway, because that was just a common sense type of direction. It just was. So, during his stumbling on a microphone, and then he was going to go into some type of, you know, confession or something like that, or revelation or whatever, ladies and gentlemen, Paul Heyman. So, oh, before that, there was a CM Punk chant, because they were in Chicago. But right when that CM Punk chant starts, Heyman comes out. He introduces Brock Lesnar, and he says that Brock Lesnar is going to shake his hand. And Heyman basically talks and talks and talks, which what Heyman does best. He talks, he sells, and yeah, he just kept going around and round. It's like he's going to be the one shaking he's going to shake your hand right now, because, yeah, he's going to shake your hand right now. Yeah, he's going to shake your hand right now. And it's like, damn it, we know, get to the point. But he just basically touched on is that after it's all said and done, you know, and after the match, everyone can say, "There is Brock's bitch." Goldberg basically gets distracted by Paul Heyman, who's in the ring, and then Brock basically grabs him, hoists him up to his shoulders, and gives him an F5. Funniest thing about that was Goldberg was still holding the Universal Championship belt as he was being F5. That was kind of funny. Goldberg did get up like maybe 2 to 3 minutes later. You know, he gets up pretty slowly, and okay, we're supposed to establish that Brock is actually a threat now to Goldberg. So, Enzo and Cass ends up facing Anderson and Gallows. And who do you think shows up? Cesaro and Sheamus show up. How long does it take you to drink a cup of coffee, Cesaro? I mean, there was a joke about that in the back. I mean, he had his cup of coffee and stuff like that, but that's what basically costs. So, Anderson and Gallows win this by disqualification because when Enzo dies through the ropes and he celebrates, he goes all crazy and stuff like that. He basically hits Cesaro by accident, spilling Cesaro's coffee all over him. He spilled his coffee all over himself, and basically, yeah, ding, 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 ding. All right, fine. Yeah, we knew that was going to happen. We know that's what they're setting up, even though they're trying to set up a match for next week as far as the #1 contendership. But come on, do you really think that match next week is going to end up just a drag out and they're going to choose one #1 contender? No, I think that there's going to be some type of mishaps or a disqualification, or Anderson and Gallows are going to attack both teams next week, and next thing you know, it's going to be a fucking triple threat. Surprise, surprise. But anyway, it's just, damn. Well, look, if they're going to give Enzo and Cass these championship belts, at least they're going to have to do it this way, instead of them beating Anderson and Gallows on their own. Because I still don't think that's possible, that's even feasible at this point. So, yeah. What I'd like to have right now is for all you fat, ugly, out of shape, wherever you from, morons, keep the noise down, idiots or whatever, keep the noise down. While the man takes his robe off, and show the ladies what a real man looks like. Hit the music. Ravishing Rick Rude, Hall of Fame. Funniest thing about it is, I didn't think he was going to get in. I'm so happy that he got in, because well-deserved. It's well-deserved. Please, if you don't know about Ravishing Rick Rude, please take a look at his matches. He was good in the ring. He could talk on the microphone, which I didn't understand why he needed Bobby to bring Heenan as a man. But anyway, well deserved. Look, he's the Intercontinental Champion. I mean, hell, yeah. He was even a World Heavyweight Champion at one point. So even the United States Champion in WCW. I mean, come on, he was part of the Dangerous Alliance. Please take a look at Rick Rude, please. Well deserved. Okay, just. Cut the hashtag. Cut the music. Okay. Congratulations to Rick Rude. And now more bad shit. Well, not much bad shit. I mean, Akira Tozawa goes against Arya Daivari, and you know how that ended up. Quick German. And after that, Akira Tozawa calls out Brian Kendrick. And Brian Kendrick was like, I'll give you my answer tomorrow on 205 Live. Okay. Fine. New Day Pops. New Day Pops? Oh, please, please, please. I'm not going to go into that segment as far as the New Day Pops and their ice cream thing. Look, they don't have actual ice cream yet. It's just a little ice cream, and they have a bell, and they're celebrating and stuff like that. They basically beat the Shining Stars. Typical squash match for a tag team. I mean, yeah, the Shining Stars, why are you still there? No matter how much you're repackaged, Epico and Primo, whatever, Los Matadores, whatever, we still can't fucking take you seriously. Why are you still there? New Day wins. But anyway, you get Mick Foley, and he introduces Bayley. The gist of this is, just, look, Bayley can't call herself champion because of what happened at Fastlane. Now, look, I do understand the whole, alright, it's, you know, Bayley not feeling like a champion because Sasha did come out. Sasha did, you know, interfere, even though that should have been a disqualification. But look, of course, and look, gist of it is Sasha wants her shot at WrestleMania for the title. what do you know? Charlotte and Dana come out, and she pleads her case. Reminds us of WWE Roadblock as far as her being screwed or whatever. She was robbed of the championship, and she was robbed of her pay-per-view streak, which is true. That was very, very true. So, Stephanie McMahon comes out. Because Mick Foley was basically going to grant Sasha versus Bayley at WrestleMania. And Stephanie was like, no, no, no. She comes to the ring. CM Punk chants break out. She calls Chicago basically losers like CM Punk. She also says that Charlotte deserves her shot at Mania. So next week, it will be Bayley. No. It will be Sasha versus Bayley this week. Because it was funny how they were going to say next week, Charlotte versus Sasha. Oh, no, no, no. No. Bayley versus Sasha. And if Sasha wins, it'll be a three-way dance at Mania. Duh. Which Sasha ends up winning. And the only reason why, well, there wasn't technically any interference. Dana Brooke, because of course Charlotte didn't want a three-day dance. Of course she wants it one-on-one. So Charlotte and Dana go down and try to make the distraction as far as them being at ringside. And Charlotte was about to interfere, but she got kicked by Sasha while Bayley was in the bank statement and rolls her over to the center of the ring with the bank statement, and Bayley taps out. So Sasha is in. I wonder if that's all who they're going to put in that match. And I got a couple of theories about what's going to happen on SmackDown, and I'll address that at my SmackDown review report. But after the match, Charlotte gets up in the ring and hits a couple of bro kicks. Basically, yeah, she bro kicks Sasha, she bro kicks Bayley, gets the belt, and holds it up. Fine. Seth Rollins and his whole rehab thing. Alright. He says one way or another he'll be at WrestleMania. Now they show his rehab, and look, injuries suck. I mean, I know firsthand about, injuries and stuff like that. And maybe if they didn't happen, things would be a little bit different with me. Instead of having these replicas, I'd be going for the real thing. But anyway, injuries suck. And I wish Seth a speedy recovery, but don't recover too fucking fast, because you'll injure yourself again, or you'll hyperextend something. So please, Seth, do things the right way. Get well the right way. But, of course, you had Triple H talk about it. And basically, Triple H threatens Rollins. He said that if you he calls him a liar. If you show up at WrestleMania, it would be the last thing that you do. Basically, that's a wash, rinse, repeat. And the funniest thing about that was, he ran down Seth Rollins calling himself the Man. Well, Triple H, you gave him that nickname. Because Triple H was like, yeah, I've been called a lot the Cerebral Assassin, the Game, yeah, the King of Kings. And okay, but fine. He said that he earned those names by other people. Seth Rollins, he said calling himself the Man was a joke, but yeah. So, I mean, in your opinion, do you think that Seth Rollins should go against Triple H, even if he's not 100%, or even show up? I mean, damn. There's no program for those two as long as Seth Rollins is injured, okay? So, you get Samoa Joe versus Chris Jericho because of the shit that happened at the beginning of the show. It is not for the United States Championship, and it wouldn't have mattered either because Joe wins by countout. But this was a good fucking match between these two. It shows how much of a threat Joe is. I mean, he ended up choking out Jericho outside of the ring, and he makes the count before Jericho does. But even after the match, when, he was trying to, edge on Jericho more, and beat him down, Jericho hits the code breaker. So Joe goes flying outside of the ring. And it's like, okay, that's how you do it. Yes, Jericho lost by countout, but there was still a fucking stalemate to make them both still not lose any fucking momentum or, like, yeah. Emma is coming soon. Not Emmalina. Emma is coming soon. Like I said, I'm not going to address the whole Strowman, Reigns, Undertaker thing in this video. I will address it. I will. And yeah, because I have a lot to say about that, and it will be about, you know, half of the time of this video, so I'm going to go in things here. But what did you think about the show? Do you think that, you know, there's going to be a triple threat at Mania as far as the Women's Championship? And do you think there's going to be a triple threat at Mania as far as the Tag Team Championships of Raw? I mean, who knows, right? Do you think the capability, you think that the Cruiserweight match and the United States Championship match has the capabilities of being match of the night at WrestleMania? I'm always open to a debate about wrestling, so leave your comments below. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Drop kicks, body slams, throw motherfuckers over the top rope, both feet hitting the floor. Yes, I'm a wrestling fan. This is the theme, and I'll see you later. Credits.